Hi, Kate. This is going to kind of be an overview of how these product load sheets work. I doubt this is going to be the end-all be-all. I think we're going to probably need to have a discussion after you've reviewed this video once or twice, and we can make a final decision on how this sheet is going to work, but hopefully this is going to get us pretty close. I'm going to send you this sheet. I think when it comes time to do this is an export from the Calico site. So obviously you aren't going to want all these products in here. I'm going to send you this sheet that you can open and look at along with the video so that you can review this. I've made this top column sticky here so that as you scroll down, you can see what the label is for each of the things. Obviously, when you go to make the sheet for Encore, we'll clear everything out, but I think it's good to have this as reference so that you can see how the products work. So let's see where to dive in here. I mean, obviously, a lot of these are going to make perfect sense to you. The name of the product. The biggest thing here is understanding the parent product from the variations. The way that we associate these in the list, because really you can see that this is all one product here. This is the Ashlar Roman slate concrete stamp. And so this is the parent product, and then all of these are the variations of the product. The way that we associate those is right here. You don't have to have anything in this space right here. So this is the ID, and then if you put ID and then the ID of the parent in here, that's how the system is going to know that all of this is one product and that this is the parent and these are the what we'll call the child products or the variable products of that parent product. So you put this ID in here, and then you put ID colon and the ID number to get these to be part of that. And so then when we look at this actual product, that's how it's going to know that all of these are part of that. So name goes here. You don't have to put a separate name in here for these variations, although it is kind of helpful because then that will show up in the cart and show them that they've ordered the specific variation. Otherwise, it doesn't show up on the product itself. Moving on, so we've got short description and description here. And right now, I don't know, this is another thing you'll need to decide right now. Honestly, I don't think that we probably need a separate long description. I think probably everything should go in the short description space, and I'll show you an example here really quick. So right now, all that's showing up here is this 24 by 24, and it seems like it might be helpful if all of this stuff were to show up here in this space. And an example is this. So here is what it could look like rather than having to, scroll down here to see it like you do now. It might be helpful if all of this is up here, but that's the difference. Short description shows up top, long description shows down at the bottom. So if you want to keep those separate, it's already done. If you want to just have everything up here in the short description space, then you should put it all in here and we can just ditch this column altogether. Weight, obviously this one's really important since we're using table rates with weights in them for the shipping. So this is something you have to fill out for every single product and variation. Price, obviously, is price. Category, this is how it's going to decide where it appears here. I know we're going to send you some different examples potentially rather than this accordion. We'll see about different systems for using the categories, but in any case, that's how it's going to assign the product to these categories. So you just put in the parent, and then this little caret and the subcategory. And if there's a third tier, you can put in a third tier. Shipping class, this is obviously for those special cases. I think you've got hazardous and oversize and freight or something. This is how we get those special fees on there for the shipping. The images column, right now this example has the whole path of where it's coming from. Since you're going to be providing us, I think, actual images rather than links, we'll just need the full file name separated by commas of all of the images that you want used. So whatever those file names are, separated by commas like that. I'm just going to go ahead and clear these out so we can see that a little bit easier. So yeah, file name .jpg if that's part of the file name, comma, space, and then the next file name of all of the images that belong to the product. This is how we get the actual attributes on here. So that's how this happens. Being able to choose these different items, this is what assigns that variable to the product. So again, this is how we know that these belong to the parent. And then this is what the actual attribute is for each one. So that's what goes here, and that's what creates these drop-down options here. Currently, it looks like all of your products have at most one variation. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm guessing that some of them on the new site are going to have more than one variable. So an example of that would be like this one. We have both the size of the package that you can get and the color. So let me know if we're going to have more than one variable, and we'll update the sheet for that. So we'll need to add, obviously, attribute to name and attribute to values out here for columns N and O, so that you can have both, say, a choice between a quart and a gallon, and then a choice between all of the colors for all of those. So yeah, I think that is the overview here. Again, please review this video and let me know what questions you have and what modifications we might need to make to the spreadsheet, and we can get you going on it. And I think even once we get you going on it, what I'd like you to do is probably add 5 to 10 products with their variations and pass that back to us and make sure it's correct, so that we don't have you do a bunch of work that ends up needing correction. All right, thanks so much.